It's the boy, Bubba, let's coming through. Ella, clutch, flawless, can't be touched. It's your boy, Bubba, let's. Yeah, I need that hot take. I need the truth and everything that is not fake. So tell me who's the good.
Welcome back, Bubba Bunch, to another edition of the Bubba Let's Sports Podcast. It is episode 212, and today we're talking some NFL football. Super Bowl week is underway, but that is the last of our conversation, probably. Eddie Gonzalez, welcome back. You're in the area. Hot singles in my area, and that's you.
I'm like 25 minutes away from you, I think, right?
That is technically in my area.
Yeah, I measured it.
Okay. This is where you say, Brianna, I love you.
Brianna, if you're watching this, I love you.
There you go. All right.
She's right there. Look.
Ay, qué bonito. Qué lindo.
She painted that.
Oh,
She
shit.
painted that right there. Right there.
That's a nice looking heart, girl.
And that's mine.
Love it. Love it. You see,
I'm a Patriots fan. I don't know if you guys remember or not, but
see that? You know, I went to the mall the other day, and I saw the Cowboys one, but it was like the matte black one. Have you ever seen that one?
no.
It's matte black. It's still got the silver lining, but it looks like kind of like the Duke football team. You know how they have the blacked out uniform?
Duke has a football team?
Technically, yes. Not a good one anymore.
Yeah, basketball.
Yeah, you know, Nathan Scott went there, you know, for.
No, but what's that kid? The annoying one that would trip players.
Grayson Allen?
Yes. Didn't he go there?
Yes. And
He's playing in the NBA, right?
He's still in the league right now. I mean, he's a bench warmer, but like
That kid really annoyed me.
he's gotta be, because the only other player I can think of that is that hated from Duke is gotta be Christian Laettner. I mean, this was a long time ago. They did a 30 for 30 on it, which I love that documentary. But I think Grayson Allen was just the typical Duke guy who's given everything in his life. The dude tripped multiple times within a week. He tripped players multiple times in a week. And the fact that that didn't ruin his draft stock at all, and now he's just there.
He's still doing it, right, in the NBA?
I don't think to that level. I mean, try doing that to Zion. You doing that to Zion?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm not.
How much money?
Because he'll dunk. Nah, bro, we're not doing this again.
Yes, we are.
All right.
How much money would it take to take a calf kick by Dustin Poirier? Just once.
Just once?
Just once.
I think I have some pretty strong calves, bro. I'm not going to lie.
Stronger than Connors?
Oh, hell no.
That's Conor McGregor.
I think I need like
Fueled by the proper 12.
like a good 5 mil.
Okay.
Easy.
Okay. That's respectable. I could do that. I could do
Like
that.
if they just came in like briefcase 5 mil, oh, I'm like, do it right now.
Dusty, come on in. Take one uppercut by Francis Ngannou. Like Alistair Overeem type of uppercut.
Like when his lip was all.
No, that was a different fight.
Oh,
You don't
okay.
remember the knockout where he's rocking Alistair Overeem and then he just puts his head in and Ngannou just went boom and his head snaps back.
A good like 50 mil.
There's got to be hundreds of thousands in face restructuring.
Well, not even that. It's just like your jaw's obviously gonna get broken.
100%.
Right?
Nose broken.
If my jaw breaks, career over. I don't play my instrument ever again, you know?
Tough.
So I got to have some money to fall back on,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And then I got to think, okay, I'm not making any more money. So I got to have money for the kids. You know what I mean?
Got it.
So you got to.
No, it's definitely double digits, millions. Probably
50 mil.
triple if, I would be considered what? Actually, that's kind of crazy that I would be in the weight class of light heavyweight. Isn't that crazy? Because I'm 190, 195.
Yeah. Just got to get jacked.
I don't think I can get to the level of Francis Ngannou,
I
but
don't think so either.
I'd say minimum for me 50 mil for Francis Ngannou.
Yeah, I think like not even. It's just the pain. Like like I think I have a pretty high pain threshold. But that's
But you're knocked out, right? Like there's no way
easy, no doubt.
you're in consciousness.
I hope I get knocked. Like I hope I
Yeah, at
knock
that
out.
point,
Don't
I'm
even
just
remember
waking
it.
up in a hospital after surgery.
I'm like, whoa, but you're waking up in the nicest hospital there is in the country.
Because you got 50 mil.
Is-
Direct
got-
deposit.
I want it cash. That's what I want.
Cash.
Cash. Let's do half in Bitcoin.
Half in Bitcoin. Are you
That's what
investing
NFL players do.
in GameStop at all after that?
Not only AMC
Only AMC. Gotta do AMC.
and Dogecoin,
What is Dogecoin? Is it just another form of Bitcoin?
cryptocurrency. It started off as a joke in 2011, and now it's little by little. It's like beep. So it's like it started off as a meme, and you could actually like buy it now, and
Hey, you're my stock market
man.
guy anyway, so.
it's just, I talked to Rooster. That's my guy.
Ah, dude.
Rooster, if you're watching, shout out.
Oh, he's got to be watching. How would you want to see Francis Ngannou uppercut Rooster? And how much distance is he going in the air? Rooster's been working out.
Rooster has one of the strongest jaws I know. That's it.
How do you know that? Matthew Stafford gets traded to the Los Angeles Rams.
It's never locked up on him.
Oh my god. Matthew Stafford gets traded to the Rams. Jared Goff goes.
Speaking of Ram,
I don't.
Matthew Stafford.
Where am I? Okay, so details of the trade. What we got here? Stafford obviously to the Rams in exchange for Rams first round picks in 2022 and 23. Now that's really off from my prediction from last week because I thought he wasn't worth a first round draft pick. Yeah, I would have said a player, like a starter, and then maybe 2 twos.
Is that because you're like one of those that like, oh, he's never won anything?
I just think that
How many Lions games have you watched? Honestly,
give me a time period.
all of Matthew Stafford's career.
So every Thanksgiving game, because that's the only thing on, right?
Okay.
So that's
Right.
10, 11.
All right.
I watched week 1 this year because of DeAndre Swift against Chicago, how he dropped the ball at the end. That was a dub.
Yeah. Yeah. So not even a season's worth of games. And you're gonna base your opinion of how good he is or how bad he is. That's what everyone's doing.
no.
I get it.
No.
Because no one's gonna watch Detroit games, obviously.
I still
So
think
a lot of people.
I still think he's a good quarterback.
But you didn't think he was worth a first round pick. That's what tells me you thought he was a good quarterback, but not good enough for that first round pick.
I'm more basing it off of his age and his injuries because think about it. How many times have we seen this guy on the injury report?
Yeah, and then he comes back and he's like,
He's still throwing.
I think he was worth the first round. Now, if he goes out there and shits the bed with LA, then we're like, oh, maybe he wasn't that good.
Now, are you okay with multiple first rounds? Because I can understand 1, but 2 first rounds and a player, I would have said that the deal's done. But then you add on the fact that there's a 3rd round pick as well this year or next year.
I think they just really wanted to move on from Goff. Honestly,
I completely agree.
McVay and what's his name, Matthew Stafford down there in Cabo having a couple drinks, and Stafford's like, "Hey, look, come get me, get rid of your boy. It's a lot of money." And McVay was like, well, yeah, back in 2010, the first time, just memorizing everything, right? He tells Matthew Stafford, like, yeah, let's fucking do it then. They call up the GM. They're like, yo, get the shit done right away. Whatever needs to be done. Boom. They don't care that they don't have a first round pick for the next like 20,000 years. Nah, they don't need it.
Well, based on history, this is what's great about the Rams is that I was reading how they're just kind of known for bad contracts and giving up first round picks. They don't care about draft picks. Like they did a really good job last year with Cam Akers, but overall, like you look at their draft class throughout the years, it's like not that impressive. They tend to get a lot of their guys through free agency.
When that helps that they're in LA, like
Oh, of course.
that's a great spot. So I think I don't want to, like say that, oh, that's the reason why, but I think a part of them thought like, you know what? If we want to get free agents, we have no problem getting them here. Sean McVay is, a genius, so everyone likes him. It's LA. It's always warm.
New stadium.
California, you don't get taxed. Oh, you do actually. Or is it Florida? Florida and Texas. One of them. I don't know.
Yeah,
And
you don't get
whatever.
Yeah, you don't get taxed here.
State taxes are, so they have no issue with free agents. So I think they probably thought, hey, let's fucking get rid of this guy, bye. Because I don't even know why they paid him to begin with.
Yeah, like that was a bad contract.
No, that always like surprised the fuck out of me. Like the fact that they paid him that much money. Like at the time, wasn't he the highest paid quarterback?
He set the record for the highest grossing quarterback until Carson Wentz got his deal soon after.
That's another one. Jesus Christ.
That is another bad one. But what's nice about the difference between the Rams and the Eagles is that the Rams know it's a bad deal, so they moved on from it.
I think the Eagles have a worse deal. Like I think what they have with Carson Wentz is just worse.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's harder to
No,
get
that's
out
what
of
I mean.
him.
Like the Eagles are not going to let go of him, and they never knew how to let go. Even now, like they're not going to let go of him until they finally like decide, like, okay, no, he's done for. They're probably going to give him another chance. The Rams just said, look, we were a playoff team last year, and Jared Goff was a part of our success, but our ultimate success based on our quarterback play, and John Wolford played pretty good compared to Jared Goff for a few weeks.
Well, I think with Jared Goff though is like, was he really that good though? Like you can't tell me that his decision making was good, was what made him good, because Sean McVay was in his ear up until the 15-second mark telling him, like, okay, they're in this coverage, you might have this open, you might have this, do this, for every single play. Oh, not every single play, but most of the plays, like when it mattered. And I mean that's great, like that Sean McVay is able to do that, and he's the genius that he is, but like you don't want to be doing that with your starting quarterback. Like that's just not something that you should have to do. Maybe like the first year, you hear of teams simplifying the offense for quarterbacks, and that's great. But after a while, it's like,
eventually you have to get a hold of this.
And I don't think Jared Goff was making that progress, and I don't know. But like, okay, real quick on the Carson Wentz thing, the fact that there's a statue of Nick Foles at that stadium, like, I think that'd be hard for anyone to go in there and play. It's like, oh, I got hurt. This guy won them a Super Bowl, and they built a statue of him, not me. It's like.
Mm-hmm. And they were quick on the trigger to say, "I'll get rid of Carson, and we'll stick with Nick Foles."
Yeah.
Like everyone in Philly, including players, were like, "We don't see Carson as a leader. We see that more in Nick Foles." So when Nick Foles left, it was like, okay, we're left with Carson. I guess we got to deal with it. Like, that's just not a mentality you want to be in, and there's a lot of pressure to it. I don't think Carson's handled it correctly, but I think that's where
a new team
rejuvenate. Or the fact that Nick Sirianni came from Frank Reich, and Frank Reich allowed Carson to develop really nicely in that MVP season and gave him a lot of his success that we've seen early on in his career. So that's where I feel like Carson feels better about the situation, and Nick Sirianni's going to be like, I'm going to give you one more chance. If you screw this up, that's on you. But I'm here because of you, ultimately. So,
makes sense.
No, yeah. But that's the thing is that, like, the Rams know when to let go. They let go of Todd Gurley. It kind of late, but they did it. Brandon Cooks, they got rid of him, even though he was doing pretty well. I thought about it. I was like, he was actually doing pretty well in Los Angeles. But for the contract, might have been a little overpaid. And now with Jared Goff. is like you needed to let go of him. And I felt like any guy in free agency that was up for trade or in the draft or whatever, I felt like would have been a better situation for the Rams rather than Jared Goff. So I think they paid more, or they did more to get Matthew Stafford, because I love the fact that we look at some of the rumors and the reports of like who could have gotten Matthew Stafford and who went after Matthew Stafford.
Not the Patriots.
Not the Patriots, which is a fascinating story to me. But
He did not want to play there.
he literally said anywhere but New England. So I'll get to that in a second. But when I'm seeing reports that like, who was it? The Rams called the Green Bay Packers to see about Aaron Rodgers, and they were like, we're not trading Aaron Rodgers. I was like, well, that's interesting. So there's definitely talks of Green Bay getting the calls. And then what were some other ones? I saw Denver, and I thought Denver was a huge conversation or topic of conversation. I thought Matthew Stafford to Denver would have looked sexy.
Not as good as LA.
Not as good as LA, but think about the situation, what happened in Denver. They have their defense. Now, considering what Von Miller's going through, is there any details about his investigation? Literally nothing's come out. It's just he's being investigated. So overall, like, their defense is rebuilding, but it's in good form, I think, for the next
That's
few
the thing,
years.
though. That's where you lost Matthew Stafford. He doesn't want to go to. I think that's why. I don't want to touch the New England thing yet, but they're in a rebuilding year, and I don't think like you said earlier, he's older, so he doesn't want to waste a year of we're still getting it together and figuring out. At LA, their defense wasn't bad, not bad at all. They showed up sometimes.
I mean, more often than not, they were the best defense out of any playoff team.
Yeah,
It's just their offense couldn't produce. Their offense could not produce, so they had to be on the field more often.
Yeah, that makes sense too. But he saw the Rams, one missing piece maybe is a really good quarterback that can make plays.
Oh no, they are in good form to be a Super Bowl contender.
Plus with Sean McVay as your coach,
yeah. And their window is closing. I will say that their window offensively with their offensive line, that's most important for LA, is that Andrew Whitworth has maybe one more year. He wants to come back.
Wasn't he going to retire after the Super Bowl?
He was, and then he said
then they lost, right?
They lost, and he was like, I can go one more year. And then after that year, he was like, I'll go one more year. And then this year, he was like, I could go one more year. And that offensive line is great, right? So I think once that falls through with Andrew Whitworth retiring and some of the other guys that may want more money or whatever, that window for the Rams is going to close eventually. And for Matthew Stafford, that window of winning is closing pretty soon because those injuries are piling up. So I feel like he went to the best situation, obviously. He went to the best team that gave him the best chance to win Super Bowl. Now, it was Green Bay, which, makes sense. It would have been a win-win for both sides. But since they didn't want to do it, well, the next one up would have been L.A., where Matthew Stafford is really good friends with Clayton Kershaw. He can hang out with them a lot more. He'll be happy. And he gets a great coach that can maybe add another layer to an already great quarterback.
True.
But I'm just saying, wouldn't it have been nice to see Matthew Stafford throw to Cortland Sutton, Jerry Jeudy, hand the ball off to Philip Lindsay? Not even a little bit.
He looks pretty damn good in those powdered blues.
Oh, you mean the Best Buys?
The Best Buys, yeah.
Best Buys. So Carolina also went after him. I can understand if you didn't want to go there. Chicago would have been interesting. Stay in the division. Maybe finally get a win over Green Bay. And so the Colts offered a package of picks, but never.
Oh, the Colts! If he would have gone to the Colts, that would have been amazing.
It made the most sense, though, right? It made the most sense on paper that they did it last year with Phillip Rivers. We just need one more thing, and that was a quarterback. And I felt like Matthew Stafford probably would have been an upgrade to me over Phillip Rivers.
Easily.
Yeah. So.
Easily, he would have been an upgrade. That Colts team, literally, their defense, amazing. Mm-hmm. Young, talented, flying all over the field. Their offense, pretty damn good,
Pretty much the same thing as the Rams.
The only thing was their quarterback. That's what was kind of holding him back. Now, if Matthew Stafford went there, another potential contender.
Yeah, because
I think that's all.
they gave Buffalo a run.
Yeah.
They really did. That was a good game. That was probably the best game of the playoffs, don't you think? I mean, obviously the most entertaining was the Browns versus Steelers because we all wanted to see the Steelers lose. But the most intriguing game.
I liked the Bucks and the Packers.
Bucks and Packers was the second time I watched it. I was like, okay, no, this was a good game.
Yeah, like it was like I was like, oh shit, like it's not bad.
Yeah, that first
Bad
half was
defense
good.
all around, but on Green Bay's part, bad defense. But
Mr. Kevin.
you throw 3 interceptions and you don't do anything with it. You're asking to lose.
Yeah, you're asking to lose. Yeah.
You give the ball back to Tom Brady with like a minute left. You're asking to lose, or like 2 minutes left, whatever it was.
No, Buffalo and Indy was definitely the best game.
I just don't like Buffalo, dude. So
Why do you not like Buffalo? Oh, because I mean, like I don't.
do you like Washington? Do you like the Eagles? Do you like the Giants?
I don't hate any of them with a passion.
I never said I hate them. Never said that.
Is it weird though that I liked seeing the Eagles win that Super Bowl? Because I felt like they were a very good team and they deserved it. I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm not trying to show. Look, man, I'm sorry. I didn't want to mean. I didn't want to throw shade. It was a good Eagles team.
Yeah, I'll be right there. I gotta go, dude.
Sorry, man. Sorry. But yeah, I enjoyed seeing that team win because they were a good defensive team, and Nick Foles like made that offense work, and I was like, you know what, good for them. Now Philly fans, dear God,
that's why they stink because they still think they're that same team.
Yeah, they're definitely not. They can't pay most of those guys.
They gotta move on. They gotta move on.
They have to move on. But yeah, so let's get to the New England part. Why do you think he didn't want to go there? As a Patriots fan.
I wouldn't want to go there either, honestly. Yeah, it's shitty weather most of the time. There's no who are you gonna throw to? N'Keal fucking Harry? Yeah, right. He can't even fucking block, dude. Granted, he's gonna train with Michael Irvin. Great. I hope he fucking pops off and does great.
Yeah, we want to see N'Keal Harry thrive.
You're gonna throw to Jacoby Myers? Great guy, right? But doesn't compare to I can't name Rams receivers, but better than fucking what we have.
Oh yeah.
Robert Woods, there you go. Cooper Kupp.
Josh Reynolds.
My mind went blank a little bit there. Yeah.
Tyler Higbee. Dude, they're stacked in LA. They really are.
I'm saying, who's our tight end? Give me a name.
David Asiasi, because I love the name.
Devin Asiasi, but
close. Is it Devin?
Yeah.
Damn. Sorry.
Well, see,
sorry, I know you're a fan of the podcast. I'm so sorry I disrespected your name.
I get it. I wouldn't want to go there either. It just doesn't look good on paper. Plus, you don't want to be the guy. Like I saw this quote somewhere that you don't want to be the guy that's replacing the guy that tried to replace the guy. You know what I mean?
Repeat that one more time for me.
You don't want to be the guy that tries to replace the guy that tried to replace the guy.
Got you. You don't want to be the rebound to Cam.
Exactly.
Essentially, yeah. Now,
exactly. Plus, Matt Patricia's there.
So I literally was about to say that.
I don't know what kind of beef, because fucking Danny Amendola came out today and was basically like, fuck. Oh, I'm sorry. Fuck.
So sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry, Rooster.
Sorry. Keep that jaw in check. Anyways, he basically said like, nah, the Patriots way, that's not the coaches and stuff. It's Tom Brady, blah, blah. That's why he's in the Super Bowl. Yeah, okay, I get it. But I just think Matt Patricia burnt a lot of bridges when he was over there in Detroit. Why we brought him back, I don't fucking know. The more I look back at it, back into the past, I don't think he was that good of a defensive coordinator. I used to think he was, but now I'm like, wait a minute here. You weren't that good. You weren't that good. We had great guys on defense, and like that whole bend but don't break. Sometimes he took it too fucking literal, and there were times where it was like, "Hey, Patricia, let's wait, start calling some fucking plays here." Okay, the little pencil.
For those listening, he just brought out a pencil and put it in his ear, on a laminated playbook.
And he'd be like, He wouldn't even use it. I don't know. But
Look
yeah,
good. Look good. Got him a job.
there's a lot of reasons why he probably didn't come. Obviously, he had better offers, or not better offers, but it just looked better. LA looked better. The Broncos probably even looked better. Bears even looked better, I'm sure.
Do you think a little bit of it is kind of what Gronk touched on after leaving New England about like there's no fun there, that you're always getting coached and you got to be perfect? Like, do you think a part of that is a reason why a lot of guys don't go there?
The thing with Gronk though is I get the comments, but
He is an outlier. I will say that he is just out there as far as what he
like
wants to do.
I see the way he is in press conferences with the Bucks and like all the off like the social media stuff, and he was doing that with the Patriots. Like he'd do his press conferences and be funny and say whatever he wanted and be like, "Oh, hope Coach Bill doesn't hear me," whatever, joking around. So like when he said that, I was like, I mean, obviously I'm not there. I don't know what's happening, behind closed doors and I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying to be perfect all the time. It's basically what Tom Brady is like, just always working. Like that's what he does. So that whole like conversation that was had, I was like, well, I didn't agree with it honestly. Like I don't think that people could like think, oh, I can't be myself when they come. I think what it happens is that there is no like one person above everyone else, I think. And I think we saw that with Tom Brady when Bill Belichick tried to trade him away, back in 2017, 2016.
Mm-hmm.
But instead they traded Jimmy Garoppolo away. It's like, look, this is a team first and then it's you. And I think, the way Tampa is and they're like, oh, we let Tom Brady coach, or, Gronk, he's this and that. Like they're praised as like superstars. I think that's just what Gronk wanted, is like to feel appreciated and to feel like, oh, I am a superstar. Because there's no such thing as a superstar in New England.
Yeah.
Like you're a patriot. That's what it is. And some people don't like that. Some people are like, no, you gotta, I see it as like, it's a team sport. It's one team, one unit. At the end of the day, like the logo is the Patriots. It's not, your face, your brand, anything like that. It's the Patriots first. But that's just my opinion. I don't think it's a bad thing. Like obviously, Patriots fans, coaches, and everyone, like they have high praise for all of those players. We appreciate all of those players. Doesn't mean like we're gonna be like, oh my god, like they're superstars, or at least the coaches and stuff. But as fans, I think we do. But it's the Patriots first, and then you. And I don't think they like that. And I think a lot of like star receivers, they have that little bit of like that. What's the word? Where they need to feel like the superstar, where they need to feel like wanted and like, oh yeah, I'm the guy. Like I'm a badass. Like I'm on a different level than everyone else. Yeah, and I mean that's fine, but that's just not what Bill Belichick's about. It's not, and you'll see it because he'll let go of star players, and it's like they just had like a great year, and he's like, yeah, but we're on to Cincinnati. It's like
GG's. We're on to Cincinnati.
That's just what it is. Like it's Bill Belichick's way of coaching, and a lot of people don't like it. Some people do. Some Patriots fans don't like it. Like it's just, hey, it's the Patriots first.
Do you think they're rebuilding? Because I hate the idea that the Patriots are rebuilding. I don't get it at all.
Well, because you've never experienced it. None of us. I've never experienced the rebuilding year in the Patriots. Think about it. Like 20 years. We were born. I wasn't even watching football yet. 2005, 6, 7. Probably wasn't. Well, 7 I started. 6 I started watching football. But still, I never saw a year where it was like, oh, the Patriots are rebuilding or whatever. So this is brand new territory for all of us. I think they are kind of like in a rebuilding year. Not necessarily rebuilding. I don't think they're gonna knock it all down and just start over. Because I as unbiased as I can be, I think we're a wide receiver, a tight end, and like a decent quarterback. Even Cam Newton, like I'm gonna say it.
You can make it work with Cam.
If you give him, a star wide receiver, someone who can make plays on their own, a tight end, and we get some of those opt-outs back in, we're contenders.
They're
and
a
with all the
playoff
cap
team.
space, that's all I'm saying. I don't think it's necessarily a rebuild. I just think it's got to figure some shit out, because obviously if we don't get Deshaun Watson, if we don't get, well, we didn't get Stafford, if we don't draft a quarterback, I think Bill Belichick's looking at this shit and he's like, fuck it, we'll do 2 years of this, of like just trying to make it work with what we got. Coaching, out coaching everyone, defense, all that stuff. And if we don't do anything, then we'll try to draft a quarterback and then like truly, truly rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you need to tear it down just yet. We still won, 6 games last season. Should have won at least 4 more. Couple fumbles, a couple COVID cases away from ending the season 10-6, which is not bad, I think, for a team to have after losing their quarterback of 20 years. So I think it's just the way you look at it. Yeah, you can look at the record and be like, oh, they ended with whatever record they ended, but I've never believed in records like to like base a team off of that. I've always been like, well, they're a good team. They just had a couple missed opportunities, things not go their way. So yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be interesting.
I think it's more of a reconstruction than it is a rebuild.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Get all fancy with it.
Sure. So who do you think wins the trade? Rams or Lions? Because I watched like a snippet of the Pardon My Take with Big Cat, and he's a big Jared Goff fan. Like, they're friends with him, and I mean, they're praising the Lions for saying like they got a really good guy and they're in a good rebuild. I'm like, in no way, shape, or form do I think that the Lions win this trade. They get draft picks, cool, but you also got a quarterback that many question as soon as that trade happened would be the starter. Like, they didn't think he would be the starter because he would go somewhere else, and they would truly have to get another quarterback. But now, if they're really going to build off of Jared Goff, that is the most devastating thing you can do if you're the Lions. I don't think you can do that.
The first round picks, what pick are they? Like, what number?
Well,
it's one this season, right?
No, so it would be for this year. It's going to be a 3rd round pick.
Oh,
right? Yeah, 3rd round pick in 2021. The first rounders are for 2022 and 23. So next season and the following season.
I hate to say it, but I think they only accepted it because of the picks, and I think Jared Goff was just kind of like, hey, you want a quarterback now while you wait? Because honestly, I don't know if you watched Dan Campbell's, the head coach for the Detroit Lions now, his press conference.
Yeah, you got to eat a kneecap off.
When he went on for like 4 hours and was just like tough, gritty, and like basically what Matthew Stafford was, which was weird, like why they wanted to move on from him and stuff, but whatever, And like, I don't know, when I think of Jared Goff, I think the exact opposite of what Coach Campbell is, honestly. I've never like just straight up just thinking of 2 of them, I'm like, it's not going to work at all. Because in my head is like, Sean McVay couldn't make it work.
What's a tight end coach / assistant coach that worked under Sean Payton gonna make?
It's like the whole thing with like when players go to New England and it doesn't work, they're kind of like, oh, well, it didn't work with Bill. Like, something's wrong with him,
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, like, they go to other teams and then you forget about them. I think it's kind of the same thing. I don't know. I couldn't tell you who won this trade. I think the Rams. I think because they are in a position to win now, which I think is exactly what Matthew Stafford wanted and what the Rams wanted too. Because like you mentioned earlier, they're not going to be able to pay everyone, so they got to win within the next 2-3 years, 2 years maybe.
Yeah.
So I think for now, now if Jared Goff goes out there and just fucking balls out and just fucking beating Aaron Rodgers by like 30, like.
If they can go 8-8, I think that's like a Super Bowl to them for the Lions.
Yeah, it's fucking Detroit. Yeah, makes sense. They can't win anything.
I just think that like Jared Goff, his best years are already past him because he's digressed since his early days. Like ever since he got the contract, it's been going downhill. when we should be seeing Sean McVay progressively making him better. If he can't make that work, that's where my problem is with Jared Goff, is that we're seeing him slowly but surely becoming a game manager like Kirk Cousins.
Or what happened is that Sean McVay was helping him too much. So he was just coddling him.
He was
just
babying him.
feeding.
Yeah.
He's like, here you go. He was like, watch. He was like this, watch.
Mm-hmm. I'm watching.
Not sponsored. He was like, here you go. Here you go.
Mama.
He's like, here you go. Hey, you want some more? Oh, you have something right there. Hold on. And Jared Goff was like, my thumb hurts. And then he was like, it's okay. It's okay.
Boo boo.
Okay.
Boo boo.
He brought in that other, what was his name? I have it right here. John Wolford, right? Is that his name?
Yeah.
How do you say his name?
Yes. John Wolford.
He came in, he's like, kind of balled out a little, not gonna lie, maybe a little. You know, it was like, oh, okay, nice to see a quarterback in LA, something we haven't seen, unless you go to the other team, Herbert. And then, I'm just kind of going off of this whole thing. That following week, I just remembered this. They were both hurt, right? They were both questionable, but Goff said he was fine or something like that. Like he said, I'm good to go. And McVay was like, we're gonna see who's ready to play.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You're thinking of the Seahawks game in the playoffs.
Sure. Yeah, that's when all the speculation was like, oh, is
like
McVay done?
Yeah, who's gonna be?
Yeah, McVay was like, peace. Wolford, what's your name? Come here. Come here. Go in. And then he went down to Cabo.
And then Jamal
right?
Jamal Adams literally broke his neck.
he went down to Cabo, right? Called up Matty Stafford. And he's like, hey, what are you doing? He's like, I'm in Cabo. What about you? He's like, no shit, I'm in Cabo too. Let's fucking have dinner. They had dinner. Hey. So you a baby? The fuck? Do you like being babied? No? All right. Yeah, let's make it happen. Boom, done. 2 first rounders, whatever. That's how it went down.
Wow. Per source. Eddie G. _1.
Eddie 1G _
Flip the 1. Wow. Crazy. So tell me, scene by scene, what's going on in Houston with Deshaun Watson?
Nick Caesario's like, he's like, we're not going to trade him. We're not going to trade Deshaun Watson. He's not tradable. And then Jack Easterby, right?
Yeah.
He's really into praying. Okay.
He's a pastor and a motivational speaker.
Yeah. So he's like, dear God, please do not let Deshaun Watson get traded from us, even though I am in charge of that. Do not let Bill O'Brien anywhere near this, even though he is not with us anymore. He's at Alabama, right?
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. I gotta thank. And Deshaun's like posting pictures in New York. He changed his bios on Instagram, Twitter.
He put for football inquiries. He literally is saying anywhere but here.
Here's what's gonna happen.
He's got a GoFundMe.
Look. Watch. Bill Belichick's gonna pick up the phone. Hey Nick, how you doing?
Long time no see.
He's like, coach, it's a bad situation. Yeah, I know it is. Here, let me help you out here. You know, I'll take that Deshaun kid off your hands. I'll give you anything you want. What do you want? No, coach, we're not gonna trade him. We're just not gonna do it. Yeah, what if I give you Gilmore, Hightower, and I'll throw in Stidham just because you need a quarterback. And I'll give you my 2 first rounders for the next 2 years. Yeah, make it 3. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check with the pastor on that one, but that sounds good to me.
I'm gonna check with the pastor.
And he's like, all right. Thanks for doing business. Hey, throw in Brandon Cooks as well. Thanks, appreciate it. Done.
Oh my God.
It's gonna happen after the Super Bowl. It'll happen after the Super Bowl around March. You're gonna get that notification from Adam Schefter because I know you have him turned on.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna say Deshaun Watson is being traded to the New England Patriots per source, or for Stephon Gilmore, Donta Hightower, and 3 first-round picks, and Jarrett Stidham.
The consensus is 3 first-rounders, and I read 2 defensive starters.
Yeah.
So literally the Texans are saying, we're not going to trade him. Like, we don't want to trade him. But if we did, just saying, just putting it out there, 3 first-rounders and 2 starters, which the Patriots do have to offer because Gilmore most likely played his last game in a Patriots uniform. Great guy.
Belichick pays him. But, which he might, but he also might trade him like he did Darrelle Revis when he was having like his best year.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, bye-bye.
Because I think Gilmore still has 2 more years on his contract. 1 or 2.
I think it's 1.
So it's like, I feel like that secondary is really good even without Gilmore.
They're young. I mean,
I think that's nice to have. Like, but the nice thing about a young secondary is like you just want to see the progress. You want to see improvement, and I sense that with Jesse Jackson, the McCourty brothers. Like they're doing really good, and Kyle Duggar is an absolute stud in my opinion.
Well, the McCourty brothers are close to retiring because they're getting up there in age, but they're still going to play another year. They said both of them, Jason and Devin. So Jason is the cornerback.
Devin's the safety.
Devin is a safety. Yeah. So I don't know. I hope we get Deshaun Watson. I'm gonna say.
Is that your like prediction? Like he's definitely going to New England.
Nah, I don't think he is. I would love for it to happen though.
So
I don't think we get a quarterback. I don't think we're getting one in free agency. And if we did, I'd prefer Deshaun Watson or Dak. Those are my 2. I don't think we're gonna re-sign Cam. I wouldn't mind it, but I think both parties have like. I don't know if Cam's gonna play football. I don't know.
I don't see him as a starter anywhere if he does go somewhere.
Yeah, that's why I don't see him as a backup. Like I don't think he'd want to be.
What would he do after football? Would he become like an analyst? Because I don't think I'd see him as an analyst.
He's pretty smart. There's a couple of YouTube vids of him talking plays. No, I just think
there's also a video of him yelling at a teenager at a training camp.
Iconic Saga Productions. So he has that. He has his family, big family, like 6 kids. So
really,
yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's like 3 or 2 baby mamas. 3, yeah. So they're different, like
different baby mamas. Gotcha.
They're like different, like they're across the U.S. So like he has to. They're not all with him at the same time. Sometimes.
That would be weird.
Yeah. Well, the kids. I mean, so he has to,
Gotcha.
But I think we should re-sign Cam if we're not going to do anything else. I don't want Stidham to play. I was very high on the Stidham train coming into the season. And then I watched him play, and I was like, at least with Cam, we have some sort of like attack. He can run the ball on you, so you have to respect it.
Mm-hmm.
With Stidham, you're like, who are you going to throw to? Huh? Fucking N'Keal Harry? We're back to it,
Well, you can't even throw over 15 yards, I think.
Who? Jacoby Myers?
No, Stidham.
Or Stidham?
Yeah, some of the throws he made, I was like, they're at their feet, and it's only like a 10-yard play. It was terrible. Would you be open to Mitchell Trubisky? I can't be crazy for thinking that, right? Like you get him cheap. Maybe
I prefer Brian Hoyer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really gonna disrespect Mitch like that.
Yeah, I don't like him. I've seen enough of the Bears to play. I've seen enough of his gameplay. Him and Josh Allen, same year, right? They were like this, right? Mitch, Josh Allen, both going up kind of like that, right? Like that. And then Josh Allen was like, and Mitch was like,
flew to the moon like a GameStop stock.
And you got to think about it too. With the Jets, with Sam Darnold, who I think will be good now that they're, have they hired a new coach?
Who?
The Jets.
Yes, Robert Saleh. Great hire.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. So with him, we got Josh
And
Allen.
Mike LaFleur as their offensive coordinator.
Great. Josh Allen, Bills quarterback. Dolphins, Tua or Fitzmagic is a free agent, but I don't know. Okay, exclude that team. We need like a young, good quarterback to keep up with those guys over there.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Mitch is it.
I can understand that.
He's basically just going to be like another like a gap year, I guess, or not a gap year, like a transition year, which I think,
At that point,
like I
just
said
get
earlier,
Cam.
we're pieces away, and like give Cam another season, give him an off season, give him OTAs, give him the mini camps, all that shit, give him everything. Get him a couple weapons. Get Odell. He's real good friends with Odell. Get Odell in there or someone. I don't know. Get a tight end like Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
Get some defense guys back. I don't know. Get some depth at the linebacker position. See what we can do.
Yeah. I put a tweet. I was like, Matthew Stafford, Allen Robinson, and Hunter Henry. Go to the Patriots. Remember this. One of them no longer can be possible. But if you can get Allen Robinson, Hunter Henry, I think the Hunter Henry thing makes the most sense in the world.
Definitely. Bill Belichick loves him. High praise for him.
Yeah.
High praise.
As long as he stays healthy, I think he can be a really productive guy. He has the build of like a wide receiver, but
It's like Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce's just a monster.
Oh, he's a wide receiver. That's all he is. In a tight end spotty.
Yeah.
Ish, kind of.
So where do you think you think Deshaun goes to the Jets?
It's hard to say where he goes, honestly.
I'm really surprised that like his number one is the Jets.
He could go to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Because what's his coach's name? What's the coach's name there? The college guy?
Urban Meyer?
Yeah. He always said that Deshaun Watson was the recruit that got away. So we know he likes him.
Mm-hmm.
It'd
be a win-win.
They're basically giving them a quarterback. They're basically giving them Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. But, I mean, both get a great quarterback. That's would
probably,
be,
I think, their best bet.
That would be the trade of all trades. Like, we look back at it in 50 years and say, that trade changed everything.
It's so risky, though. Like,
for sure.
For the Texans. Because, yeah, Trevor Lawrence, we're expecting him to be great and all that stuff. But what if he isn't? You already know Deshaun Watson's good. You already know what he can do. I mean, he had one of his best years with a shitty-ass team. So it's like, do you take that risk? Do you take the risk for an extra 4 years of your franchise, I guess? Because he's, 20, 21?
Mm-hmm. I just look at it like this. I'm like, Trevor Lawrence is the only quarterback in this year's draft that I am 100% all in for. The other guys, even Justin Fields, who I'm a Buckeyes fan, don't like him in the NFL. I don't see it happening to where he makes it in the NFL. So these other guys like Mac Jones, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, they need a lot of work. Trevor Lawrence is like, day one, he is ready to go.
He's ready, yeah.
So
it all depends on if they want to risk it. But I think if Deshaun really, really wants out, and let's say they don't even trade him before the season starts. Let's say it's like the first game. He's already missed preseason. They find him for all the preseason games. They find him for the workouts, whatever. First game of the season, doesn't show up. And they find him. Oh, shit. Then they find him. What player was it that missed the whole season, basically?
Le'Veon Bell.
Well, him too, but there was another one. There's been a few. So this is, what's his name? He played for the Chargers? No.
Oh, it was Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon, yeah. So we could see another situation like that, but at that point, it's like you're kind of wasting time, really.
Yeah, there's no leverage to be dealt. It's like without Deshaun Watson, you're losing games. With Deshaun Watson, you're staying in some games, but you're still losing games because you have nothing. I looked at the roster for the Texans and I said, you have nothing to offer. Your best piece, other than Deshaun Watson, is J.J. Watt, who also wants to leave. the next best option is Will Fuller, who also wants to leave and is in a opt-out year.
Plus, with all those players wanting to leave, no one wants to go there in free agency. Because it's like, what the fuck's going on over there? You know,
Yeah. Like they hired David Culley. I hope I'm saying that right. David Culley coached the worst wide receiver group in the NFL and the worst passing game team in the NFL in the Baltimore Ravens. He is responsible for two of those things, passing game coordinator and wide receivers coach.
like 31st, right? Or something like that?
They are almost dead last in every category. 31st, 32nd in some for the last 2 years. And the reason why the Ravens don't go far in the playoffs in both of those years is because they don't establish a passing game. They run the ball very nicely, but after a while, it's just you need to catch up. You need to make some big plays down the field. And that guy is going to coach an entire team that has nothing to offer after the next few weeks. Once Deshaun leaves, JJ and Will, once those guys leave, they have nothing. They have David
Houston's
Johnson.
The new Browns. They're the new Browns.
They are the laughingstock. Like I could see them going 0-16, 1-15, and I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
I don't understand how they almost hired Josh McCown as a coach, which would have been funny. But then they got the next best thing, which, I mean, Jim Caldwell would have been a better option, in my opinion.
I forgot when I saw this. It was trade Deshaun Watson to the Raiders, get Derek Carr and like some other stuff.
Oh, I don't know about that. You really want another Carr in Houston after the failure that was David Carr?
Look, I didn't say this. It was a tweet that I saw. I forget whose tweet it was, but I saw it and I was like, it sounds ugly to me. Like that just sounds like.
No.
I don't think Derek Carr is like bad or anything. Like, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's as talented enough as Deshaun Watson to make things happen like Deshaun Watson did in Houston. I'm not saying, Deshaun Watson let them on this huge run or whatever, but he had like one of the best seasons out of all quarterbacks. I don't think Derek Carr would be able to do that. So that'd be a win for Las Vegas for sure. I said Oakland earlier, but for Las Vegas, but it wouldn't be a win for Houston. So I don't know. It's just tough to see where he's gonna go. If he goes,
he's got to go. He's got to go. Like I told you earlier, I was like, it's just a girl that doesn't get the hit. But... Like she gets cheated on, and the guy's like, I don't want to be with you, and she's like, no, don't go. And they don't get the hint. They're not getting the hint of like, well, we want to make it work. We feel like we're
not really
stuff.
Though, because Deshaun Watson has given everything to that team. Like he's put them in positions to try to win at least. It's the organization that's fucking him over.
Right.
But they're still, so it's like, it's reversed. So the Texans are the ones that are cheating. They're the ones who are doing all these bad things. And Deshaun's like, look, man, like I'm trying to be there for you. I'm trying to love you and stuff. And Houston's like whatever, treating him like ass. Finally, Deshaun Watson wakes up one day and he's like, I don't fucking deserve this. I deserve better.
A king, right? Like a king.
And he told them, he was like, look, motherfuckers, I deserve better. Fuck you, right? And Houston was like, no, like, stay with us. We're not going to let you go, And he's like, nah, just let me out of here, man. They're like, no, we're not letting you go. Sorry. Like, you signed a contract. Like, you're ours.
We apologize for everything that's happened. But here's how I'm going to make it up to you.
And they got, so Deshaun Watson just wants out. I don't blame him. I would too.
He does look really good in a 49ers uniform, though. Have you seen those Photoshops?
No, because if that happens, then Jimmy G's coming to the Patriots.
I said that. I could see
I
it.
hate that so much. Fucking Jimmy G in the Super Bowl, eyes closed. Dude, come on. He's nothing without the run game. Nothing. That's all Shanahan did for him. All they did was run the ball. Run.
He
and
threw like 12 times against the Packers in like one of the playoff games. I think he threw less than 10 times.
He threw 8 times. Yeah.
He threw eight times. And he made it to Super Bowl.
And that's great. But it was because the team was so fucking good. He was throwing it to Kittle. He was throwing it to...
No, I'm on your side. Like, they literally just gave Raheem Mostert and said, run through this hole. And he was like,
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, I got cut 6 times. I'll do whatever you say.
That's why the hype on Jimmy G, I'm like, I don't believe it. Like, I just don't.
I think Jared Goff and Jimmy G are the same exact quarterback.
Yeah.
The exact same. On my list, have them right next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jimmy G.
Speaking of that list, should we name them off?
Yeah. I forgot to add Jimmy G to mine. That's how much I hate him.
Nah, I mean, we'll get far before we talk about Jimmy G.
Yeah, you're right.
So, one night at 4 a.m., I couldn't sleep. And I just decided to make a list of ranking every quarterback for each team based on this past season and based on who should have been the starter. And most of these teams will have the same quarterbacks as their starters. Some of them might retire, but I just felt like it was fun. I didn't want to add rookies because I didn't know where to put them because I don't know where they're going. And that's a big part of it.
Like upcoming rookies? You mean like people that haven't been drafted yet? Okay.
Yeah, like I can't put Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields,
Mac Jones.
My thing is like if Trevor Lawrence goes to the Jets, I feel like it's much different from how he would perform in Jacksonville. Justin Fields, if he goes to...
Trevor Lawrence, though, we could say is going to Jacksonville. Like,
yeah. I mean, barring any like miracle by any other team, it's like, but I'm not gonna put Mac Jones in there either. Like Mac Jones, I don't even know if he's gonna be a starter somewhere.
True.
So
valid.
It was all based on a TikTok that I saw of like the top 5 quarterbacks or top 10 quarterbacks.
Corvette. Yeah.
Hop them up. And you know, I just went on the conversation of like, where does Dak and Lamar go? Because the conversation I heard last week was like, you know, if you had one game to take Lamar or Dak, who would you take? And everyone on like the radio station here was like Lamar for sure. And I'm like, why is this like?
Depends. Is it a playoff game?
That's what I'm saying.
Who are you playing? Are you playing a defense that's really good at stopping the run? A team that blitzes? I mean, that's just probably overthinking it. But you know,
there's so many
money
hypotheticals.
on the line. Money on the line. Fate of the universe.
Martians have the death beam on Earth.
I'm taking Iguodala.
God. I love those TikToks where it's like, would you take Curry? Or Iguodala? Or Curry? Or Curry? Or Curry?
Curry.
And it's just naming off every good player. And they're like, I want Iguodala.
Fucking Max Kellerman. Jesus. He was trolling with that easily.
There is, like, I think Iguodala is a great player. When he was in Denver, when he was with Philly, that dude was a freak. He was fun to watch. And, like, every kid now is only going to remember him for what he did in Golden State.
I'm not a kid, but that's all I remember him for, so.
Okay. But, like, you youngsters don't understand how good he was. Y'all don't know. He was a good player. But
so are you defending Max Kellerman? Is that what I'm hearing here?
at that time, in that period of time, Iguodala was clutch. Like, he was playing really good basketball. Never in my life will I say, well, I let Iguodala take the shot over Steph Curry unless Steph Curry is quadruple teamed at a three-point shot.
Even then, take it.
I would give it to Iguodala at that point.
Shoots all fast, you know? Anyways, back to the list.
Anyways.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Do we just name them off one by one?
Are you going to go number one first or number 32? I say you should go 32.
Ooh, yeah, let's do that.
Because this way it's like, what's his number one? Because you don't want to give away, you know.
Yeah, because, I mean, we talked about this earlier. Like, we have different number ones.
We have different number ones.
Yeah.
So. No.
Do you have a 32?
Sure.
Yeah. Give me your 32nd best quarterback in the league.
Yours.
Gardner Minshew is the least best quarterback
All right,
this
look,
list.
guys. In my defense, he came up with this at 4 a.m. and he's been working on it,
Yep.
right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's been a couple
He's
days.
had about, he called me. We started this. We were talking about what we're going to talk about and stuff. And he's like, oh, yeah, by the way, I made a list of 32, ranking the 32 quarterbacks. And I was like, oh, and he's like, so if you want to make one. And I was like, oh, shit, okay. So I had about 15 minutes. I thought I knew every single quarterback in the NFL. But then I'm like, oh, I forgot about him. So I think I have like 27.
To be fair, pretty impressive for 15 minutes. It took me about an hour to get the full list on.
Well, I'm just doing it. I'm like, okay, would I take that guy over that guy? No. Would I take that guy over that guy? Yes. Boom. Okay. But just like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I did it. Obviously, the first 10, those I didn't even think about. I was just like, this guy. So it's more authentic way, But let's count how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Hey.
I'm guessing a few of those are on the same team, by the way, right?
26.
26.
I just have 2 in Fitzpatrick.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was assuming.
I don't even have
Chet Henne?
Wentz.
Chet Henne? No.
Are you including him? Really?
No.
Anything's possible, man.
Anything's possible. Andy Dalton?
I have him.
Red Rifle?
Do I?
Jared Stidham.
He's not on here.
Josh McCown.
All right, bro. Hold on. Wentz. I'm missing him. I'm missing Dalton. I was missing Garoppolo. Who else am I missing?
Alex Smith.
I have him.
Teddy Bridgewater.
I have him.
Drew Lock.
Have him.
Daniel Jones.
Have him.
Matt Ryan.
Yep.
Kirk Cousins.
Yes.
Who are you missing? Sam Darnold?
Mm-hmm.
I don't. How are you missing some?
Dude, I don't know. That's.
I mean, you're gonna base it off of what I say.
Yeah. So I'll just be like, oh, I forgot about him.
So out of all the names that we've mentioned, who is the worst quarterback out of all of them?
For me, it's Gardner Minshew too.
Yeah.
I just never
like that dude.
I never saw him play really. So
the only reason he had a starting job for most of the season is because of how worse the other guys are.
Didn't Nick Foles get hurt, and that's how he got thrown back in last season? And then ever since then, he just took over.
Yeah, I still remember.
And they got rid of Nick
Foles. I don't
Foles.
know why I remember that so much, but Week 1 against the Chiefs, Nick Foles breaks his clavicle, which a lot of people did in Week 1.
Yeah.
And then he came back Week 11 and took over. He did so poorly that Gardner Minshew went back in the last few weeks, and then they went to this season. They're like, oh, I don't know what we're gonna do. Nick Foles goes to Chicago, and we're like, Gardner's a guy. He did so poorly that they threw in a guy named Jared Lott.
Yeah, he did not bad. Mike Glennon was in there too for a little bit, right?
Glennon.
He was like long neck.
Long neck Glennon. Yeah, he's definitely not going to have a job after this year. And I don't even know if the Jaguars should keep him as a backup.
Then it's like, who do you get as a backup then?
Ryan Fitzpatrick, Case Keenum.
I think Case Keenum. I think, yeah.
Mason Rudolph, because I don't see how Pittsburgh keeps him either.
Especially since they're going after Dwayne Haskins.
Dwayne Haskins. Yep.
Great guy.
Not on this list, by the way.
Yeah, not on mine either.
He's at the strip club. 31. Want me to go first?
Yeah.
Alex Smith. Yeah. I'm taking a lot of guys over Alex Smith. He's got one leg, dude.
And he won for them, okay? He led them to a fucking divisional game. Wild card.
Right now. Yes, it's a wild card game. Taylor Heineke or Alex Smith,
shit.
who played better?
In one game, Heineke, but the whole season, Alex Smith fucking got them there.
Well, he wasn't there the whole season.
But the 5 games that he played,
I feel like you're feeding into the fact that he came back. That's a big part of why we all like him.
let me tell you something.
Love him because of what he did. But, dude, let's just...
No, let me tell you something. I'm not saying he's a fucking top 10 quarterback, right? I'm not saying that. To put him at 31, bro. Washington wasn't even there. Like, it's a shitty division, anyways, right? Alex Smith comes in. He's fucking like, you know, dart, right? And all of a sudden, it's like, oh shit, Washington. I think I even said Washington's nice with their defense, with him fucking just doing what he needs to do. No one was asking him to ball out and be fucking, Patrick Mahomes with the no-look passes. No one was asking that. He just had to make sure he didn't turn over the ball. He was like Blake Bortles in the 2018, year when he was with Jacksonville Jaguars. Same thing. He did a little better than that, obviously. But to have him at 31, man, like...
So give me a range, because, like, you don't have the full list yet. What range would you put Alex Smith?
I have him on my list, actually.
Top 20?
The way I did it was, like, if I was the GM, and they were like, all right, pick your guy. I was like, okay, can't have him. Fuck. Can't have him. Oh, fuck. So kind of like that. He is... number 16 on my list.
Wow. So
you're gonna be
half.
surprised. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's quick. You're gonna be surprised who I have him over.
Well, yeah, because considering that my 16 is filled with a lot of guys I would take over Alex Smith.
Well,
like, by a
I'm
long
just basing
shot.
it off of like what I like if I was a GM. I'm not
Right.
basing it off how they did, I'm just like, I don't like you.
Completely understand.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that if this was Alex Smith from the 49ers or Kansas City, like those years, definitely a top 15 quarterback. Hands down. He was really good and underrated. I'm not trusting that leg. He is older. And for what they had Logan Thomas, Taylor Heineke, Antonio Gibson, and a good offensive line that's underrated. I think they could have done a lot more even if Alex Smith was there. And I think Taylor Heineke did a really good job in that playoff.
The games he played, they won.
Because
when he
of that
didn't play, they
defense.
lost.
You don't think that defense is the deciding factor of whether or not they win games?
Hey, they are, but not in every single one of those games, son. All right.
Oh, man.
You got to score points, too. All right.
And I think if you put in Taylor Heineke in those situations, he would have done the exact same thing.
I just think it was one of those games where it was like, hey, this is your moment right here to win yourself a fucking job. Go ball out. No, he had nothing to lose. He wasn't the starter, so he just fucking balled out. Now, is he a good quarterback? Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. One game isn't enough for me. So to say that he would have done better than Alex Smith, he would have had to have won 5 straight. Because Alex Smith, when Alex Smith was on the field, people were like, let's give Washington a shot. When any other quarterback was on the field for Washington, you were like, it's fucking Washington. Even when Dwayne Haskins was on the field, you were like,
well, yeah, Dwayne Haskins was the worst one of all of them.
And when we found out that Alex Smith, like playoffs, was going to be a little shaky, you might not play, might play, it was up in the air, whatever. There was there was a lot of talk. If he plays, they have a chance. If he doesn't, they have no shot whatsoever. So that tells me how, I don't want to say good of a player he was, but how influential and how better he made the Washington football team.
Better it's just a strong word, but we agree to disagree. Number 30.
31. God.
Teddy Bridgewater. And this one hurts because I like Teddy Bridgewater.
I don't even know if I have 32, but I have Carson Wentz.
Oh, okay. Oh. I would take Carson Wentz over Alex Smith. I would. I really would.
All right, next. I'm not even gonna.
29, Daniel Jones. You gotta be kidding me, dude. No. You think Daniel Jones what? No.
Moving on.
No.
Mine was Garoppolo. Give Daniel Jones an actual offensive line that they can block him where he doesn't take 20 sacks per game.
They played better this season. Give them that. They did play better this season than they did last season.
How many Giants games did you watch?
A
Besides
lot.
the Cowboys one.
A lot.
Besides the Cowboys one.
I did watch a lot. The Seattle game.
It's one.
The Thursday night game against Philly. Both games against Philly. Because, I mean, that's really the only games that were on. The Browns game. That was pretty bad.
Okay. So
I didn't have NFL Sunday ticket, so I can't really watch them at that time. I did watch them later.
So how do you know they got better?
Because statistically they got better.
But you only watched a quarter of the season.
Can you not see improvement from 4 games?
No.
Just off the top of my head?
No.
You're lying.
Let me tell you something. I had Sunday ticket. Okay. And I would watch because I like Daniel Jones. I like him a lot. And every time I'd fucking click on that little New York Giants, I'd click it, right? It'd be him fucking under center. He'd hike in, just blasted. And I'd be like, okay, I tuned in the wrong time. I keep watching it. Blasted again. 2nd and 40 now. Blasted again. 3rd and 6,000. All right. But when he was able to sling it, he has a nice little zip to it. He can throw. Still young.
So
just give him an offensive line.
What about the Bucks game? Like, don't you think they played good in the Bucks game? Because they actually kept it close against the team that's going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Bucks. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with them during that time.
Wayne Gallman looked like the second coming of Emmitt Smith. He can't do that alone. Wayne Gallman's not that good. He had to have had an offensive line to get holes.
It's like I said, that Buccaneers team wasn't the same Buccaneers team. It wasn't the same. No. It wasn't the same defense that we're seeing now. They were so inconsistent. You can't deny it. It was, hey, are they gonna show up this week? Or are they not gonna show up this week? And some weeks like they'd show up, and some weeks it's like, what are we doing? They're not here, non-existent.
Isn't it funny how the two?
It's like versus the Bears. Same thing. They didn't show up.
Well, yeah. Isn't it funny how Daniel Jones's best games of his career really were both against the Bucks? Remember the game he had like 4 total touchdowns? It was against the Bucks before Tom Brady, and then this year it was most likely the game against the Bucks, even though they lost.
Just got their number.
Just got their number. It's the Giants. Giants and Tom Brady.
I'm not saying he's fucking top 10.
He is an Eli Manning 2.0, and I hate Eli Manning.
I think he's better than Eli Manning.
I think athletically, yes, but
except when he trips.
Yeah, I mean he's going really fast. I don't blame him for falling there. I think that he's Eli Manning but with legs, like a running ability. So yeah, he is better than Eli as far as a quarterback.
Hall of Famer for sure.
Let's just not go into that.
For the record, I do not agree with that. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer. Just in case anyone's going to take that out of context.
Oh my God, I can already hear. They're so biased because it's a Cowboys fan and a Patriots fan.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
And it's fun. But
you're
it's
right. Did you say you're 29? God, it's going to take a while to get through this.
I don't know what number I'm at. I said Garoppolo last, right? Like
I think you said that after Teddy Bridgewater for me. So I don't think you've said you're 29.
I said Wentz, didn't I?
Oh, wait. No, you said... Oh. So you did say Jimmy G.
Yeah, I said him already.
Okay, whatever. 28,
hate him.
Cam Newton. I'm sorry. But I'm sticking to my word. Didn't think he was a good quarterback before. Don't think he's a good quarterback now.
Let me put on my Patriots helmet right here.
Cannot complete a pass. And if he has like a little screen pass to Rex Burkhead, he throws it at 100 miles per hour. Super unnecessary.
Do I defend him?
Do you really have much to defend, though?
I do.
He did all right.
When you think of Cam Newton, what do you think of? Running or passing?
Running.
Okay. In the games that they were successful, do you think he ran more? Do you think he passed more?
He ran more.
Okay.
That's their whole offense. That was their whole offense.
Exactly. But Josh McDaniels didn't fucking know that. Okay. I don't know what they were doing. Those screen passes, that ain't his thing. You know whose thing that was?
Tom Brady.
Yeah. Because we see it at the Bucs all the time.
Scotty Miller. Just another Julian Edelman.
So yeah, maybe he could have, lined up on the passes on this, but never did that in Carolina. Never been his thing. Deep passes, yes. Medium passes, yes. He'll do it all day. He'll do it good. But when you have an offensive coordinator that is going to call mostly like draws, tosses, screen most of the game, that's going to set you up for failure. And when you start doing that early, that kind of starts eliminating the long ball. Because then it's like you're down already. You're down 14 zip or whatever. And then you want to throw the long ball? Great. Who are you going to throw to? Who? N'Keal Harry?
You're just bashing on N'Keal Harry today. Poor guy. I got him on Madden Mobile. I laughed as soon as I pulled the card.
I expected more from him.
I
still expect he'll be better. But anyways, then who do you throw deep balls to?
When I see Cam Newton throw intermediate to long passes, I see a guy that is forcing that ball down the field. Like he looks like he is trying his hardest to throw down the field.
No, he looks like that when he's doing short passes.
I feel like that's how he looks all the time. And that's the problem.
Ever since his shoulder, his throwing motion's a little.
So I can't consider injuries to this, too, because he's been banged up in Carolina. He did actually a pretty good job of staying healthy in New England. But when he was on the field, I was like, it's all right.
Yeah, I just think you give him better. It's the same thing with Daniel Jones. You give him a better situation. I don't think you can. I understand that they have to be able to adapt, be able to do whatever, do good in whatever situation they're in. But it's to a certain extent, yeah. But at the same time, you got to try as a coach and as an organization to put them in the best position possible to win. And quite frankly, I don't think New England did that. And I said it last time too. There was no one to throw to. They weren't calling the right plays catered to him. So everything felt forced, just what it was. Same thing with Daniel Jones. You don't give him time to throw. But when you do, he looks good. And when Cam Newton, when he had time, when they were comfortable, when they were winning, he was making beautiful throws, making beautiful plays because they were calling plays catered to him. And it was very weird because 1 week you'd see them and they'd be calling these QB draws or option, and it was oh shit, okay, that's cool, this is the direction we're going in. And the following week it's screen. It's that's not what works. And I don't know. So I think you just got to give each one a chance.
If you have to compete for a starting job with Jared Stidham, you don't deserve to be high on my list.
Well, he wasn't competing, but
he got benched multiple times. You're 28, sir.
Oh shit, I don't even think I have 32. I said Garoppolo, I said Wentz. Did I say Minshew already?
Yes, that was the first one.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah. Surprised you have him high on the list. Higher
It's
than
not
me.
high. Yeah. Well, I don't have all 32, so that's
fair point.
That's gonna play a factor.
27 Drew Lock, because I just don't know. I don't know where to put him. Oh, you're gonna be mad at me.
I think another one. He just potential.
You're still living on the potential, yeah. You could probably put those guys. You want to see a little bit more, but then that's also taking a risk.
I want to see another season with like putting him in the best position. Like it's the whole thing with Matthew Stafford. If he goes out there and shits the bed with this LA team, it's like,
Then
was he that good then?
like that, his whole career is basically just questionable at that point.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, maybe he was overhyped. So it's all about what's around you. So that's how I see it.
I mean, that's hard, yeah. Like, I want to see Drew Lock with those wide receivers and tight ends in Denver. I really want to see it because I feel like that offense would be really nice to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't know if Drew Lock's that guy. It's the same thing. It's the same position he was in last year. Like, did we think that he was going to be the guy? And I don't feel like we've made progress on that.
Yeah, I don't know. But the thing is, like, we won't know because I doubt that like they're gonna be in the best position or in a better position next year,
Yeah.
like next season.
Right.
So
I like, honestly, the next 5, you can literally make that argument of like where they're at, what's their situation. I want to see more, but also kind of don't want to.
true. Yeah.
Did you say a name?
Next I got Trubisky.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So then my next one's Tua.
I get that.
I want to see more because it's actually a good situation. If they do end up getting Devontae Smith, roll Tide.
But it's a good situation. But is it really though?
I think it's like it's a good situation for Tua, but maybe not the best situation for Miami.
I don't even think it's a good situation for Tua because from the start, players were like, eh, and then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, we're going with Tua. And there was pushback from players, like people were like, and then getting benched and like and then them putting in Fitzmagic and like
Mid-game, they just throw in Ryan.
It happened twice, right?
Yeah, it was like a Raiders game, and then it was an early game, like first month of the season.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't know. I just don't think they believe in him.
I mean, it's really quick to say that. I can understand though. Watching the film, like he was just scared to throw slant routes. I was like, dude, you can't be scared. How do you go from throwing it to every 5-star recruit in the country and having Najee Harris behind you, and now you can't even complete a slant route? Like he's overthrowing all the time. I don't know. I want to give him an off season, and I want to see if they can make it work. But I wouldn't be surprised if they move on from him already.
I got Kirk Cousins.
I can understand that.
You like that?
You like that? 25 Carson Wentz.
Kyler Murray.
What? Kyler Murray. Are you sure you're not confusing it with maybe like another guy?
Oh,
like Jamal Murray, different sport, Instagram model.
Jamal Murray's nice though. What do you mean?
Kyler Murray's not? Give me your reasoning. I just want to hear it. I just need to hear it, so I can sleep.
I just don't see it. I just don't believe it.
What?
Like when I watch him play, I don't get that feeling of like, oh, this is a good quarterback right here. Like it's not even like he's like, oh, he's so bad at throwing, he's so bad at running. He's a good athlete, but I just something about it just tells me that he's not going to be able to, not like last or anything. But
do you think it's because the way that he plays doesn't last in the NFL?
No, I think it does, especially now. I think we're seeing it that the NFL is transitioning to that way of playing. I think pocket passing is kind of old now. So the NFL is definitely transitioning to like plays that cater his style. I just don't think he's that good, honestly. It just doesn't pass the eye test for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
To be fair,
I wouldn't.
You did say that about Dak last year, that he didn't pass the eye test. Now you're saying that the Patriots should go after him.
Yeah, because he's better than Cam.
Well, anyone's better than I got 27 other names that are better than Cam.
Yeah, I mean the only reason Dak is because it's like, it's a good free agent, like it's a good quarterback. It's not.
So does he still not pass the eye test though?
Yeah, he does. Like he's good enough to be, a transition. All I'm saying is to get him for. I'm not saying for the franchise. I'm saying just as like I said, this is like transition years, like until we find our guy, and I think that's what Bill Belichick does.
So you don't think Dak's the guy? You think he's a transitional guy?
I don't even think he's the guy for the Cowboys. I think he should leave the Cowboys
Oh, I
if he
think
wants
so
to
too.
better his career.
Oh yeah,
I think
that's a gimme.
with Dak, like he just hasn't. He hasn't. I guess how do I put this? Kind of like he just hasn't had that it year for me. And which I don't blame him. It's the fucking Cowboys. Now that I look at it, it's like, yeah, it's fucking. You have an owner who doesn't let you do shit. Like, yeah, you're surrounded by talent, but that talent is kind of stupid sometimes. Like, you have a defense that can't keep anyone off the field, or keep anyone off the field. So, like, I started like thinking like, okay, it's mostly Dak, but at the same time, it's like who he's playing for. So I think if he goes to a different team, yeah, I'll be more than happy to give him another shot and see like, okay, let's see how good he is, and I hope he comes back, and plays better than what he did. I'd like to see him on a different team though, honestly, not the Cowboys.
Oh, I do too.
Yeah. So that's why as the Patriots, I think it'd be a good like with Belichick, I think he'd help a lot.
Kyler Murray doesn't pass the eye test for you. That's shocking.
Well, for me, like I wouldn't take him
Wow.
because he looks scared sometimes.
That's just the way he runs. He runs like a little kid.
No, like when he's like in the pocket, he looks too antsy. I don't like when quarterbacks do this when they do the bounce.
Yeah. I could see that.
That's Tom Brady talked about that. And that's anxious. That's nerves. That's
But 20, like 25, 26?
well for me, it's probably like 22. So
Okay. What was the last name I said? Oh, Carson Wentz, right? Yeah. Kirk Cousins is 24.
mine's Daniel Jones. After
I can live with that. I can live with that. 23, Trubisky.
mine's Tua.
Right. Like we said, like if different situations or just one more year, let's give it to them.
I think that's with most quarterbacks, except like the shitty ones,
Like outside of the, I'd say,
like 25 and down, like or 25 up, I guess 25 to 32. I don't care if they're with the fucking best wide receiver core.
Yeah, no one's gonna care.
Yeah, exactly. But you give, I don't know about Kyler Murray. Maybe if you put him on a different team, I don't know.
No, Arizona's the best place for him at this point with Cliff Kingsbury. It's the only way that'll work.
Yeah, but
You can't put him in a New England set.
I wouldn't want him in New England.
You can't put him in any like West Coast offense, even like the Rams. Like I don't think he would fit in the Rams because you got to flip the whole playbook into a college type of playbook. Anyways, so after Trubisky, who's the next person you had?
After Tua, mine's Goff.
Okay, yeah. 22 for me, Sam Darnold. That's the last guy where I'm like, maybe if he goes like Pittsburgh, give him 1 year in Pittsburgh. Let me see what he can do.
Let's get him to New England. Fuck it.
I could see him work in New England. Could really
I've always
see it.
liked Sam Darnold. Yeah, just like I've always liked Jameis Winston.
Oh God! Wait, do you have him on this list?
Yeah, he's number 1.
Jesus Christ. 21 for me is Jimmy G, and then it's Goff, because like I said, they're the same exact quarterback.
Mine's Matt Ryan, and then Sam Darnold.
Yeah. I put Matt Ryan like right in the middle, where I'm just like, he's there.
I just don't look at him the same.
Of course you don't.
Being a New England fan.
These last few years, I'm just like looking at that Falcons team. I'm like, well, what are they doing?
I think they're asking the same thing.
Like, am I wrong for thinking that Julio Jones should just be traded?
Yeah, he should.
Like, if I'm Arthur Blank, I'm like, why did I keep Julio Jones for an extra, 3 years when I could have traded him when he was way more higher in value? And
I think even then you could still get a lot from, you could say whatever you want, like, oh, maybe he didn't have as great of a year as he did, but it's still fucking Julio Jones,
the name's
it's still a name. Yeah. So I think if they're going to trade him, this is the year. You don't want to give another year of fucking, whatever that shit show was.
Just saying, Calvin Ridley's a better wide receiver than Julio Jones right now. I'm going to say it. I'd prefer Calvin Ridley over Julio Jones right now.
I do not agree with that statement. I'd prefer Julio Jones. So Bill Belichick, if you're watching, don't get Calvin Ridley, get Julio Jones.
19 is Baker. Yeah.
Why do I have Baker higher up on my list than you?
Well. Have the tables.
Oh, how the turntables.
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know that, why we're so surprised, about 2 years ago, year and a half ago.
Yeah, after his rookie season, I said Baker Mayfield would win MVP.
I have a recording of him saying that, right? It hasn't happened yet. And I've always never liked Baker. I never thought he was good, right? But this year, like, okay. Like, it all goes back to situations. He was put in a really good situation. And he did good. So, therefore, man, he's not bad, you know? Now, if he had shit the bed, yeah, he's a horrible player. They did really good, though. He was put in a really good situation. That's all you got to do is just be in a good situation. It's like, and I hate to say this, but like with Tom Brady, he stays with the Patriots. They don't make the playoffs. They do maybe wild card exit, just like last year. Goes to the Bucks. They're in the Super Bowl situation because football is like a team. Like the whole team needs to be good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why for me, Baker's higher than he is on your list, even though you thought he was going to be MVP. It's all situation. Situational football.
Situational football. Look, you having him higher on the list is my way of saying he has won MVP. Some would say he played better than Patrick Mahomes in the last 2 months of the NFL season. Statistically, that is correct. He had a better passer rating, better completion percentage, and I think less interceptions.
I'm not a numbers guy. Sorry.
Oh,
you know this.
Pass the eye test for me. Yeah. So mine's Baker. Yours.
Where did I leave off? Oh, Drew Lock. Because it was Matt Ryan, Sam Darnold, Drew Lock.
No, I think you had Sam Darnold, then Matt Ryan, then.
It says right here. Okay.
Can't see it.
You know what? It doesn't even fucking matter. It's all the same.
They're all the same.
The ones that matter are 10 and up. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're still spending a lot of time on the. We spent like 10 minutes on Alex Smith.
How the fuck do you? All right, whatever.
Because like.
Hey. 10 minutes.
18, Derek Carr. I need to see Derek Carr somewhere else.
So mine is actually it's Drew Lock, like I just said, Alex Smith, then Derek Carr.
Wow.
So I got Alex Smith, thrown in there. He's like, I'm here.
He's limping his way into the top 20.
Yeah, Derek Carr. I don't know.
I have to see him in a different uniform. I am tired of seeing him in a Raiders uniform where he's not appreciated enough. John Gruden does not want Derek Carr as a starting quarterback. He has to have him as a starting quarterback. I'm saying it right now. Trade him to San Francisco. So that way the NFC West is Matthew Stafford, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, and Derek Carr. Tell me that is not the most competitive division in all of football.
If that happens, then Jimmy G comes to the Patriots, and I officially become a fan of another team. That's it.
Hey, we're both going to do it this year if Dak leaves, so...
Hear me out. I'm saying... Oh, fuck, no, I'm saying... It might happen. Never mind. I was going to say if Jimmy G comes to the Patriots, I'll buy an Aaron Rodgers jersey. I'll become a Packers fan.
Who's a jersey that I would buy? I mean, if Deshaun went to Miami...
You'd probably buy like a Cardinals jersey. You really like Kyler Murray. That's why I knew that one was going to sting. You just like the Cardinals. I know you do.
I like the Cardinals. It's not that I love one player. Like, I would get a Christian Kirk
You don't like
jersey.
Kyler Murray?
I like Kyler Murray.
You don't agree with me. That's what you're saying.
I like Kyler Murray. But it's not the sole reason why I like the Cardinals. There, you got Daddy Cliff. You got Christian Kirk.
That's all I wanted to hear. That's all I wanted to hear.
He's daddy. So,
it's a grown man right there.
17, Matt Ryan. Because I think he's just average.
What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10.
You left off on...
I'm on 14, apparently. So, I got Ryan Tannehill.
Interesting. What? Really?
I'll let you catch up to me.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll get to 14.
So, my 14 is your 17, essentially.
Yeah. Okay. So then I'll just name off the next three. So
Yeah, catch up to 14.
16 is Big Ben.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of veterans on this part. So Big Ben, and then
That's what I forgot. Okay.
15, Phillip Rivers. And I'm being very generous because I bashed him all year long. I think he played well to end his career. By the way,
I forgot those two, so I agree with you.
Yeah. Number 14, Matthew Stafford. I think that like we've been accustomed to seeing him with Detroit, trying to make the most out of it. We'll see what happens with Los Angeles, but I think he's just like run of the mill veteran guy. He can still throw, not the most athletic, pocket passer.
Not the most athletic. What?
Yeah, he's not the
Have
most
you seen
athletic.
his
Well, that's just instincts and mental.
running out of the pocket and just no look, fucking sidearm it.
But is he fast? Is he like quick on his feet? Versatile?
He doesn't run like like Lamar Jackson.
That's
but
what I'm saying. Like that's the standard now. Like we think that's athletic.
he does this with the ball, curves it in. It curves. Beautiful stuff. Anyways, all right. You're at 14.
That was my 14. Yes. So
All
then
right, so 13.
13.
This is where we're legit. Wait, let me double check.
Drew Brees. Because I'm not going to discredit that he's still a good completion percentage passer, an accurate passer. He just doesn't have the it factor anymore, but I would still take him over all the other veterans.
Yeah, so I forgot him too. So just he's like my 13 and a half. Fuck it.
Sure.
Well, okay, because you don't have Fitzpatrick on your list, huh?
No, but if I were to put Ryan Fitzpatrick, I'd probably put him top 20, probably around Big Ben Rivers area.
Okay, well, he's my 13. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 12, Joe Burrow.
Baker Mayfield.
Love it. Puts a smile on my face. 11, Kyler Murray.
Dak Prescott.
You suck. Not top 10?
It's almost in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I need to hear the other ones before. Number 10, Ryan Tannehill. Barely
Matthew
gets
Stafford.
in. All right. Number 9, Justin Herbert.
Joe Burrow.
I feel like if you can put Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow in the same area.
Oh, Herbert's up there.
Herbert and Joe Burrow, I can respect that. He's going to probably piss off a lot of people. 8, Lamar Jackson.
Big trust, me too.
Big trust. How does Dak go? Number 7, Dak Prescott.
Josh Allen.
Huh. Okay. Are you taking Dak or Lamar one game? Playoff game.
Dak.
Love to see it. But you have Lamar 8? What?
Yeah, because I'm talking like franchise-wise. I'm not talking one game. It's because with Dak, I think I know what I'm getting.
But isn't that a good
Lamar.
thing?
Sometimes, but with Lamar, I can get Lamar where the running's good, the passing's good, or I can get Lamar versus New England this past season.
Mm-hmm. I'll agree with you in the sense that, like, in 5 years, if I don't see Lamar Jackson in the top 5 at least, and has grown his arm, confident in his arm, and become a nice balanced quarterback like Dak, but more athletic, I'll be shocked. Like, he should be far beyond what Dak is, but right now I'm not. I'm not thinking that. So that's why I have them right next to each other. Number 6, Josh Allen. Because I still feel like he's a little too young to be composed in certain... Wow.
He's good, man. He's good.
The only thing about Herbert that kept me like off of him a little bit was like the last, like I'd say month or two of the season wasn't getting that same like wow factor that I was getting early on. And I feel like I would have had in Joe Burrow. Like if Joe Burrow never got hurt, I thought Joe Burrow would have won Rookie of the Year.
True, but
yeah, offensive line.
We'll never know. Yeah.
We'll never know.
I guess we'll never know.
Did you say number 6?
Yeah, Herbert. Where's mine?
That's right. Number 5, Tom Brady. Because I always say
Russell Wilson.
Okay. Number 4, Russell Wilson.
Tom Brady.
Well, number 3, Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson.
Well, son of a, slap my ass, call me Judy. Number 2, Aaron Rodgers.
Patrick Mahomes.
Number 1, Patrick Mahomes.
Number 1, Aaron Rodgers.
This season, yes, Aaron Rodgers is the better quarterback. I think when we look back at this and we say, like, who's had the better career?
Oh, obviously Patrick Mahomes already.
And that's the thing, is that, like, already we can say Patrick Mahomes has had a better career than Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
So that's why I can't put Aaron Rodgers above.
But also, that's if the Chiefs can keep everyone. They're not going to be able to keep everyone unless everyone buys into this whole, like, let's make it a dynasty, right? So it's going to be interesting to see 2-3 years from now when they don't have maybe, 20,000 guys they can throw to that are like that. If they were to go to any other team, they'd be number 1. Tyreek Hill goes to any other team, he's number 1 receiver. Sammy Watkins goes to any other team, maybe number 1. You can make the argument.
Maybe.
Travis Kelce goes to any other team, number 1 tight end easily, right? Le'Veon Bell, well, I'm not counting him.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Him.
After his rookie deal,
Goes to another team.
he's going to ask for a lot of money.
But running backs is different, though. It's whatever. Defense, same thing, too. Like, so it's going to be interesting to see, I guess, 3 years from now, where that Chiefs team is. And
I think it sets the tone, though, that Patrick Mahomes, who was definitely going to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL at some point, right? And it came earlier than not. That he just said, I want a team-friendly deal for you guys. Keep me as long as you want because I have Andy Reid and eventually maybe Eric Bieniemy the way it's looking, right? So
Yeah.
I want a team-friendly deal. Doesn't that make you think that, like, other guys around the building, like Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, it's like, why would I want to leave this? Why would I not want to be a team-friendly guy and win a bunch of times?
the same reason other players. Like, I mean, if you look at the Patriots dynasty, how many star players left? How many players, like, just left, even though they were constantly winning?
There's going to be casualties, right? Like, there's going to be guys that just don't believe in that, and they want their money.
It'll be interesting to see if they're able to, keep it going every single year. And by then, hope Aaron Rodgers is probably going to play, 4 more years, 5 more years, maybe, hopefully. I don't know.
Depending on if he stays in Green Bay or not. Like, if he doesn't win a title in the next 2 years,
he's done.
He's done.
So let's say he wins one, one more. Then you can make the case that, I don't know. It's just going to, we'll only know 5 years from now, honestly, which kind of sucks because it's like, we're not going to remember having this conversation hey, remember, but right now that they have Patrick Mahomes has already had a better career just because he's
won
been
more.
in a better position early on.
Oh, I mean, if Aaron Rodgers is in Kansas City right now, he's already won one, on his way to maybe win a second one, and then he would have had the one from 2011 with Green Bay. I would have put, for sure, Aaron Rodgers is the greatest quarterback of all time. Not because, here's the same thing that I always make the case for. It's like Michael Jordan and LeBron. I think LeBron is a better player. I think tangibles, statistics, everything that you see.
Fundamentals.
LeBron is a better shooter, passer, rebounder, all that good stuff. Defender too. But I think Michael means more to the game of basketball that will be remembered more as the greatest. Same way that Tom Brady, who is not the most athletic, not the best passer, not the best arm, like Aaron Rodgers is
most
better.
Accurate though.
Well, no, Drew Brees is.
No, Drew Brees has the strongest. He was the deep ball. He had a
No.
In the dome, yeah.
Look up right now who has a higher
Not
completion
right now.
percentage.
Not this season, but overall.
No, overall.
Drew Brees was always known as having the strength, having the zip on it, to be able to get it there.
He was the accurate guy.
Tom was the accurate guy.
No.
Yeah, and Aaron Rodgers was the one who was doing all
the guy who has the strongest arm is probably Peyton Manning.
Oh, but I don't include him, because I feel like he's from a different. Even though they're in the same generation, but when we think of quarterbacks and talking these three, Peyton Manning isn't included because he's older.
he should have a conversation in the greatest of all time, but there's not a supreme argument like Brady I don't even think Drew Brees is up there.
Noodle arm. That's why like the whole noodle arm came to like out, because everyone was like, there's no shot that this guy's good at, and then the whole dome thing, and it's like, you know,
The dome doesn't have that.
I mean, it helps.
I mean,
when
in
there's no
single
wind.
season completion percentage, Drew Brees owns the top 3. He has the highest completion percentage out of any quarterback of all time.
But yeah, he has all the passing yards and stuff too, or whatever. He has, like, he's up there
Well,
too.
no, that's
but
where Tom Brady and Peyton Manning are higher.
no, the passing yards and stuff, that's Drew Brees.
No.
He's up there with Tom Brady. Him and Tom
Right
Brady are always
now,
going back and forth.
in career, completion percentage, Deshaun Watson by 0.1%. And
Percentage on
Drew
the yard,
Brees,
the yards.
if you're talking about yards,
for the whole season, whole career. Because they had like a big celebration for him or something like that.
oh, they were going back and forth, right?
Yeah, it was him and Tom going back.
So
and
Drew
forth.
Brees has 80,300, while Tom Brady has 79,000. Well, don't you think that Tom Brady's going to break that? That's like
yeah.
a season, not even a season, a month in a season.
Yeah, if Drew retires, but if he doesn't, I mean,
He's
it's
got to retire.
yeah. So that's the thing. It's always been like they each have their own thing. But like Aaron Rodgers has even said it. If you're gonna talk greatest, we're talking championships, which I don't necessarily believe. But I mean, that's what he believes. Because if that was the case, then you have to say Michael Jordan's the best, because if he has, more than LeBron for now.
Yeah, he's
But
catching
I don't
up.
I don't agree with the whole like the championships make you, because again, like this is a team thing, and we're always talking about you have to be in a best situation and stuff. So I just think when I think of the GOAT conversation, it gets tricky because you can be like, well, he's this, but he's this. I just think whoever had the most impact on the game and whoever was able to do, like when they were on the field, like you knew shit was going to get done. You knew like, oh, fuck. Like we got to go up against them.
Mm-hmm.
And when you think of that, you think, like Peyton Manning, like you said, but older generation. Not really, but he is. Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. I don't think Drew Brees, honestly. I don't. Those are the only 3 quarterbacks in our generation.
Yeah, not as
that
long as some of the other guys we're naming.
Yeah.
Like they're doing it for 20 plus years. I think there was a window of like 10 years of Drew Brees doing that, but it's just not the same, especially since you only won 1 Super Bowl as well.
Because every year you're always thinking, oh shit, we got to worry about Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers. Doesn't matter who they had on their team. Doesn't matter if they lost all their star players. As long as Aaron Rodgers was on that team, you were like, we got to worry about Green Bay. Same thing with the Patriots. They lost their star player. We got to worry about the Patriots because of Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, but Tom Brady, like that's what is like, oh shit, he's the GOAT then.
It means more to
It's
the
like,
game.
Exactly. So when LeBron went to LA, it's like, fuck, now we got to worry about this. We have to worry about Cleveland. Now we got to worry about this.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's what's like, oh shit.
Well, like I just think Aaron Rodgers is the most gifted player I've ever seen in my life. Like Patrick Mahomes, eventually, if he continues this, I'll just be like, if he does this for 15 years, I'll be like, that is ridiculous. Aaron Rodgers is the purest passer I've ever seen. Like he just makes it look easy, right?
He's like the most complete passer.
Yeah.
Like he can throw a deep ball really nice, really accurate. He can throw it hard when he needs to. He can throw the little touch passes. He fills all the check boxes or all the boxes out. He checks them all for every single throw. Like he can make every single throw, obviously, and stuff. And he could do it well. He could do it accurate, like almost 100% accuracy all the time. Like when he makes those throws, like the throws that you need, he'll make them.
And he won't make a lot of mistakes. So like when you're thinking about who would I want as my quarterback, a guy like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Literally, if
And
I
he's
could have Aaron
smart, too.
Rodgers. Yeah, he's super smart. Especially now. Like now that he's, done so many things off the field to where it helps his mental game. It's just, like you said, the impact that he did on the game.
And not only that, it's all the turnover they had with those teams. Like I said, like it doesn't matter what season, who they had, if they had, star players get out, you always worried about them. So that's why I'm saying, like with Patrick Mahomes, we'll see in 3-4 years when they don't have all their star players, when they've lost their offensive coordinator again or defensive coordinator, whatever, when there's more turnover in the actual, organization.
And we're not Just
And that quarterback stays the same. Like his play just keeps getting better and better and better, and you still have to worry about him. Then you're like, oh shit, like this guy's pretty
especially
fucking
when the
good.
hype goes down, right? Because right
Exactly.
now
Yeah.
we're just like, oh my god, this is the greatest thing on earth.
Mm-hmm.
But when
Exactly.
5 years down the road, we're like, well, this is just the same that we're seeing week in and week out. Then we can say, wow, what a player. Wow,
Exactly.
what a guy.
Exactly. That's all it is.
That's what it is.
That's all what it is, man.
But putting Aaron Rodgers at number one, I'm not going to disagree with that.
Yeah, Mahomes are number one either. I think it's kind of like up in the air. It's like the whole MVP thing. Like
It's kind of like a 50-50 thing. Like if it was a poll and it went 50-50, I would have been like, well, there you go.
I could see the argument for both sides, basically.
Yeah.
I just prefer one. It's just like, hey, I get it. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. But I prefer Aaron Rodgers.
With that said, final thing. Who's winning the Super Bowl?
Oh, fuck me. You know what, man? Brady ain't going to lose a Super Bowl ever again. He ain't going to do it.
Ever
He's lost
again.
3. He's lost 3. He's not going to lose another one.
I was going to ask you, do you think that Tom Brady is unlucky or lucky in his career? Lucky is like
Let me tell you.
the situation he's in, and for some of the plays, some of the things that happened throughout the year, like Tuck rule and all that, they bring up all that. But then on the unlucky side, it's like, well, he threw for over 500 yards and still lost, which is the first time in NFL history that's ever happened in a Super Bowl. The 2 Super Bowls against Eli and the Giants, to where those bum plays were just lucky as hell. And I mean, there's both sides have arguments.
I think as a Patriots fan, I don't consider any of that luck. I don't believe in luck. I think luck is when opportunity meets preparation. And if you know Tom Brady, he's always preparing. He's over preparing. So when those opportunities arise, he's prepared for it, and he's able to do what he needs to do, and you could say he gets breaks from, like if we're going back Super Bowl 49, Malcolm Butler's interception, right? Okay. But before that, the only reason they were still in it was because in that fourth quarter, he popped off. Like that's the only reason why. The only reason they were in that situation was because he put them there. Super Bowl 51, down 28-3. You could say that the Falcons blew it, right? But I see it as that was an opportunity given to them, and they took advantage of it, right? Super Bowl 52. We don't talk about that one because, fucking whatever. 53. He didn't do much.
No one did. No one did, really.
No one did. So but when the opportunity presented itself, you need to have it. You gotta have it. Does it? So I don't think he's lucky. And if you want to say that he is lucky, that's fine. But you also have to say that he's unlucky sometimes. That's just, you can't say that, oh, he's always lucky, that's why he wins. Because like you mentioned, the whole Giants thing, those catches, like you could call them good plays, or you could say they were lucky for the Giants or unlucky for Patriots. So if you're gonna say he's lucky, you also have to admit that sometimes he is unlucky too. Or you could just say, you know what, it was good football on both parts. It was good football on his part and good, unbelievable catches on their part. Because we've had, Julian Edelman's catch in Super Bowl 51. That's, you can call that lucky. Or you can say that's just fucking
a great play,
a great catch. So it just, if you're gonna look at it one way, you have to kind of stick to it and stick to what you believe. But I don't think he's lucky. I just think he works his ass off and puts himself in those situations. And when he's in that situation, takes advantage of it.
Situational football.
At the end of the day, that's all we're playing. Situational football. 3 sides of the football: special teams, offense, defense. We're just trying to win the game. That's it. At the end of the day, situational awareness. Complementary football. That's it.
What's next for the Patriots?
We're on to Cincinnati.
I love it. Thanks, Bill. Thanks for appearing again. Eddie, thank you very much. 2-hour podcast.
Some light.
A percentage of that. Alex
Us
Smith.
fighting about
Alex Smith. Yeah.
like the top 20 to 25 quarterbacks. Not even like the good ones.
Not even the good ones. Not even the good ones. So you have Tom Brady winning. But
yes,
I'm going to save my prediction for the prediction or preview later this week. So thank you.
I want to double down on it and say that it's a game-winning drive.
Wow.
Touchdown to Gronk.
Touchdown to Gronk. Doesn't work out, though.
Fucking fakes his workouts or films them all in one day. Doesn't have to work out the rest of the week.
Bruce Arians was today years old when he found that out.
He really was, though. I think the whole organization was. They were all like, well, I mean, if he's going to say it, now's the time to say it.
I mean, it doesn't matter
if
now.
If they weren't in the Super Bowl, he wouldn't have said anything. He's not going to be like, well, I didn't work out, because then it's like.
Part of the problem.
That explains why he looked so bad the first couple games.
That's true. He took a while to mold himself into that offense.
But,
well, thank you, Eddie, for appearing.
Hey, thanks, man.
Really appreciate your expertise.
I play tuba, so.
When Jimmy Garoppolo finds his way back to New England, I'll give you a call.
Yeah, hold on. Tell me who's your top 5 quarterbacks right now, dead or alive, huh? And how much do you care about a ring if the best player got carried by the team?